Hey guys, and welcome. Just sitting around the pool having a cigar, thinking to myself, so I figured I'd shoot you a video because this is based on something that I've experienced in my life, and if you haven't already, you most definitely will along your entrepreneurial journey. And that's losing friends, particularly losing friends from the past, childhood friends or people, maybe even family that you've grown up with from the past that can't adjust to who you've become now in your current life. As I say, if you have already experienced this, then you know exactly what I'm talking about anyway. But for those of you early in your entrepreneurial career and you haven't yet experienced, I'll give you a heads up on what to expect. And that is that some of your nearest and dearest friends, some of your oldest childhood friends, are going to have a problem with you improving, with you changing. I've experienced this firsthand multiple times, and no doubt I will continue to into the future. And if you haven't already, then expect to experience this. And the reason they're doing that is they're trying to hold you back. They may not consciously be aware they're even doing this, but they're trying to hold you back. They're trying to keep you in their comfort zone. And my advice to you is don't let them do that. They're going to make snide remarks. It starts off small and then it gets bigger and bigger. And what's happening is it's becoming more and more unbearable to them. The more progress you're making, the more you're evolving, the better you're becoming, whether it's personal development, the things that you're learning, financially, whatever it may be, it's causing them pain. And you don't want to allow their snide remarks to ever hold you back. I know that sounds like maybe I'm stating the obvious, but you'd be surprised that when your best friend or close friends or close family start making these comments, how it can affect you. And you just have to have a thick skin. You have to keep pushing through it, because you'd never want to live your life based on somebody else's comfort zone. If their idea of a nice end to the week is to come home on a Friday night, put a pizza in the oven and play PlayStation whilst you're working hard because you've got much bigger goals, then don't allow them to pull you back into their comfort zone, because you're not living your life within their parameters. You're trying to push out of that and grow out of that. And what's happening is it's causing them pain. You guys started off in the same place or similar places back when maybe you were 10, 11 years old. And as you're progressing through life, you're pulling away from them. That's the way they're seeing it. You're pulling away from them. And that's what's causing them that discomfort. And they're constantly trying to pull you back in a kind of underhanded way. They haven't got the emotional or communication capacity to just sit down with you and say, look, you doing this is causing me pain. And the reason they won't do that is because they realize if they verbalize that that's a very, very selfish thing to say. And if they come out and say that, or even if they're thinking it, are they really a true friend? And that's the way that you need to look at it. Is yes, maybe that was a nice childhood friendship or whatever it may have been back then. But now, 10, 20, 30 years later, that relationship doesn't have the same dynamic anymore, and you're both in very different places. Don't ever allow them to just constantly hold you back all the time, pulling you back or attempting to pull you back, to guilt you, to shame you. Okay, I had to change location. Who knew a DSLR camera can overheat? I guess it's 100 degrees out there, so no wonder really. But what I was saying earlier is don't live your life within their parameters. You have to understand that even if they can't conceptualize what they're saying to you is, this is my version of who you are, and I'm comfortable with that because it's kind of on par. In their mind, they're going back to when you were childhood friends. And who you are now, 10, 20, 30 years later, is a very different person to who you were back when you were a child. And you have to understand that they are very, very similar to who they were, mentally at least, to who they were back when they were a child and you were friends. You had a childhood friendship. But you're not anymore. And through your hard work and determination and risk-taking and constant learning, personal development, all the things that you do on a daily basis that goes unseen for the most part, that is making you who you are, that is contributing to the different way of thinking and the different results that you're getting in whatever area of life it may be. That's what's making them uncomfortable, because to them you're pulling away from them and that makes them uncomfortable. And really it's just coming from a place of selfishness. It's them thinking, I don't like this person pulling away from me. I heard a quote a long time ago from a billionaire guy, and he was saying this exact same thing prior to me ever having experienced this. And he was saying, with friends, they want you to do well, but they don't want you to do that well. And it's very, very true. I've experienced this over and over and over again. It's their selfishness and their insecurities want you to control your behavior. They want you to adjust your behavior to make them feel better. Instead of accepting that you changed and that was a conscious decision and that's a good thing in your eyes, they just want to keep holding you back. And just don't let them do it. Just keep pushing forward. Let them drop off and just replace them with new people. And that is a natural process. You don't have to worry about that happening. I promise you. I promise you that that will happen. You will let go of those old people and those people that don't have your best intentions at heart. That's ultimately what comes down to it. That was why I said earlier, are they really friends? Yes, they were really, really good friends back when you were a young child or a teenager or whatever it may have been. But now, in the now, if they don't have your best intentions at heart and they're not wishing you the best, are they truly a friend? Do you even really want them in your life? All you're doing is you're clinging to that attachment of what you used to have. But if you were to meet somebody today that was talking shit about you and didn't have your best intentions at heart, you wouldn't make a new friendship with them. So why are you holding on to that old friendship? Just let them go, and I promise you, when you make that space, new people come into your life and they're a much, much higher quality people. They think the same way as you and they have your best intentions, and you can work together. You're constantly elevating each other and pushing each other forward instead of having somebody constantly trying to hold you back all the time. I know it's a little bit more of a deep video, but I think these things are important to discuss as well, because a lot of this stuff is kind of the unseen, kind of undiscussed stuff that goes along with the entrepreneurial journey, or just the journey in progressing forward and trying to better yourself. A lot of people don't say this. They show you the flashy cars and all the toys, the easy stuff that is very easy to say, hey, look at this or look at that. But they don't discuss this type of stuff, and I want to start a series. I'm going to start a video series. I've got a note here, or a list of things that I want to discuss, and I'm going to start a It's Okay series. Like in this case, it's okay to lose old friends, and I've got a list here of various different things that it's okay. It's just part of the journey. Yes, maybe for some people it bothers some more than it does others, but when you understand there's other people that have gone through this, there's other people currently going through it the same as you start grasping that it's just part of the journey. It really is a natural part of the journey, and yes, sometimes it can sting, sometimes it hurts, but it's worth it. I promise you it's worth it. You just got to live your life by your rules, in going in the direction that you want to be going in. And if you're on a path and other people just drop off of that path for whatever reason, just let them drop off. New people will get back on that path, and those people, I promise you, will be a much, much higher quality type of people that are going to perpetuate you forward, and you can also help them. It becomes a mutually beneficial relationship instead of one person trying to drag you back and one person trying. Imagine a train, you imagine a train with two engines on each end and they're both pulling in opposite directions. You're never going to get anywhere on that train. What you need is them to be working together, both going in the same direction. So if you want to be going in this direction, then you're both mutually agreed you need to be going in that direction. It's not a difficult thing to fathom, but when it comes to physical, tangible things like the train example I just gave, people can comprehend that. But when it comes to interpersonal relationships, particularly when they're long-term relationships or very strong bonds, whether it may even be a wife or a husband or a father or a mother or auntie or uncle, whoever it is, like somebody that's very close to you and you respect their opinion, if they're working against you, that's completely detrimental to the progress of your journey. So just let people fall aside. If you can completely let them drop away, then do it. As I say, if it's a parent or something, you need to sit down and have that conversation with them and just explain to them, look, this is where I'm going. I need you to support me, and have the discussion on what's going on with them and make them understand that this is coming from a very, very selfish place for them. You need to respect me and my journey, and I'm going to live my life my way, and I'm not going to try and change you. I'm happy for you to live your life your way. You need to have the same respect for me and to let me do the same thing. So as I say, it's kind of a deep one, but sometimes these things need to be discussed. They really do. And as I say, I've got a list here of various things that I plan on discussing in the future, and it's going to be like this. It's going to be a little bit more of a casual discussion. So I look forward to making future videos for you, and hopefully you did get some value out of this. I'm sure if I had seen this video years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, and I was just starting to experience these things, it would have been a huge relief for me to recognize, wow, that's exactly what I'm going through. And even if it's just knowing that other people are going through that, I may not necessarily be able to help you with your situation, but just know that it's a common thing and that there are a lot of other people experiencing that as well. So as I say, hopefully you got some value out of it. If you've never been to my channel before, this is the first time you've ever been to my channel or seen any of my videos, then hit the subscribe button, because I will be putting out a lot more content like this as well. Thanks for watching.